Well, hello there, and happy Friday night. As you can see, it is raining right here in the Lotus SMP, and tonight, as we sift along to some soothing music, we're going to get some work done here on the monorail that we've been side questing over the last month or two, which is something that I'm definitely excited to get down under our belt. At this point in time, it is just Pug and I on the server, and you may notice actually that in my inventory since the last time we have checked in, I do now have some shulker boxes, which are now full of items, but the last time I've been able to play Minecraft in this world was last weekend, so I don't even really remember what we happen to have in these boxes. What I do know is that we have a yellow bed in her hand, and I do think that although it's nice and kind of cinematic like this, it would be worth it to sleep for the night to get rid of the rain and bring us back into the daytime mode here in the overworld. Now, in a kind of interesting fashion, I ended up doing a little bit of dialogue, I guess you could say, with ChatGPT, and ended up finding out that for me, I make even passively over $100 in every single month through playing Minecraft, which is a really incredible thing. And I wanted to know how many other people, or what percentage of the Minecraft population, how many people that play the game actually are able to play and make money out of it in any form, such as like tournaments or just making YouTube videos or like any other thing, streaming the game, whatever it be. Keep the percentage of the Minecraft population that actually makes money from it, and apparently it's only a half of 1%. So it's kind of cool to think that, and there's over 200 million people that play Minecraft, which means that 1/2 of 1% is 1 million people. So there's 1 million people in the world that make money out of 200 million people that play the game. And I personally think that it's much easier to learn how to play the game and make money from it than people really, I don't know, fathom. Like, if you wanted to play Minecraft and make money from it, I do feel like it's kind of possible. And of course, I've been doing this for a long time, but you know, there's easier ways for you to be able to make money through playing Minecraft, even than the ways that I play, because I still love the game, and some things like making beautiful things like the Minecraft monorail that we're going to be playing or building today do take time, and in order to do that, you know, it takes time to play the game and then to edit it up, and I'm going to do a whole ton of storytelling for episode 2 here on Lotus, and I'm very excited for it. And I feel like I've named these birds before that we have on the path, but I cannot remember their names, and that's not a good thing. But we do have a whole ton more story to come, and I do want to see what we do have in the shulker box. So yeah, okay, we do have the stone that I was hoping for. And it is so nice to finally have shulker boxes once again. It's October 3rd, and the server started, I think, in July, like middle of July, I believe. And you know, so other players actually have had, they went to the end, I think, like 3 weeks ago or so. But I ended up taking a pretty long break from Lotus. So everyone else right now, like Pug, I'm pretty sure, has Elytra and whatnot, but I don't have anything. I just have my diamond tools, and I finally have had enough diamonds to buy shulkers. But we do have this monorail right here. So the good news is we can just go on and press this button and start to head our way down on here. And I want to actually eventually find out how many blocks it is to go on this monorail. It really is super far, and I feel like most of my game volume is usually down. So you guys probably can actually hear the monorail based on how loud it probably is. But for me, on my end, it's like super loud. And as you can see, we have a couple of houses that have actually been building up over in this direction, which are actually really beautiful. And there's one over on the cliffside over here too that's just barely pretty much out of render distance. But we keep going, and we're going to get closer and closer to Pug Space actually, which I still have not checked out, and I'm very excited to at some point in time. I do think that one of my favorite parts about this monorail that we have right here is probably this element that it goes over the water like so. And it goes so long in this direction. It's crazy. And we have a campfire right here as we pass around and get pretty close to Pug's Pub from the Fox King 6980. And then we kind of continue along down here. And we have Pug's Pub. And I think it's kind of interesting that Cheaty Cam mod, that free cam mod, without going into F1, now you still see your tools when you're flying around like this. I don't know, I just kind of find it a little bit interesting. And I'm also finding it difficult to hear the music personally with how loud it is. But a spooky welcome, Cobb, a welcome. Happy Friday night, y'all. I'm Cobb. I still haven't had a chance to take a look at your video, but I'm very excited to, my man. I was kind of late to stream, although no one else was watching. So no one was waiting for me, so it didn't matter. As we run into a minecart right here. Yeah, I guess it didn't matter that since nobody was watching, but at the same time, I ended up watching one of my most recent Minecraft videos, and I was like, it's so inspiring. And I do have a feeling that you have inspired me many times when it comes to iterating on my content, especially when it comes to like cinematics and their pace. And so I'm excited to see the upcoming video. But man, I've been so incredibly busy recently. It's been absolutely insane. So we are chunking away at things little bit by little bit. But I do appreciate you guys. I'm going to hang out a little bit tonight too. We are going to jump down into the river. I do believe that Pug's Place is just about over here. But we have to head along where we have a whole ton of resources over here. I don't think that I've used any of my red shulker boxes yet. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna grab some cobblestone from here. I do totally, absolutely, okay, need a stone cutter from over here as well. Take that axe out of her offhand. And yeah, you can see that we have plenty of materials over here. And I saw some stone stairs right there, which is going to be an essential right there too. Yeah, so I haven't used shulkers in a very long time. So there we go. It's really great to have these additions, I will say, and we also have, in an interesting way, some Cinnabons right here. I don't know exactly who made them, but they're kind of fun. They look kind of, I mean, they do, you can see the character model. You know, they do look pretty decently like a Cinnabon. It does seem like it's pretty 3D. So I'm impressed with it. It looks pretty good, but we are quite full at the moment. And I would not be surprised if it has like the full saturation or duration, not saturation, full duration that you would get from getting steak or golden carrots or something like that. Okay, we'll take some of these minor blocks here too. That will end up adding up over time. And I do believe that it is just about time for us to first scoop this guy back up. I still have not made a single ender chest in this world too. I just happen to play so slowly, I feel like, at the end of the day. And we'll head on over to the jungle area over here. Where, man, I've played a bit of Lotus, but I think I definitely needed a bit of a break from building this massive monorail that we have here. As you guys can see, it's going to continue down here and then take a left and continue down. But man, I will say it is a whole lot of work to cut through the jungle just like this. It is so dense. And then all of the blocks as well that are necessary in order to make this thing happen. It is quite significant. On the map, you can see it goes, there's like a city right here. Like, that's a whole city. This is a whole island. Like, this is a massive, massive map. It's hard to tell you guys the scale with people. Like, spawn is right over here. And I am so far, and I have not even explored the entire map. It really is, it's quite significant. But I do think that we are going to wait to head to sleep for the night and then continue on along with building this guy and see if we need to load a couple more schematics into the world. Along with, we have a colorful chicken right there too. Yeah, Cobb, you totally have to be pretty cautious with build projects like this. This is by far the biggest build project that I'd ever thought. I was inspired by Mafert from last season, but honestly, this probably, I mean, Cobb, maybe our bases would probably have been this far away at maximum. But this is so far, and I'm barely near anyone. Actually, maybe this is how far away our bases were. And I do think that this is Maddie's city. I'm not exactly sure though. Yeah, Spooky, they look so tasty. I know, I do think they look pretty tasty. Alright, let's see. Okay, we already have some schematics enabled. But we do have to put down our resources here. The good thing is that we have a red shulker box, so that should be pretty easy to see, I do believe. And we'll start to take out our stone, and definitely wish we had a little bit more stone with us, actually. Because we're going to make a whole ton of stone bricks too. So we can really only, at the moment, kind of make a stack and a half of it. And that kind of is what it is. But what I'm going to do to start us off here is I'm going to take out all 3 of these stone variants that I'm going to be working with. Oh, and also, actually, I don't know if I have any. Yes, I do. And some andesite, too. And just along here, of course, I'm going to hit start recording. We are going to start to pillar up and kind of texture around in a 3x3, which is funny. I've been teaching my kids in 2nd grade for the last... I messed up while I'm doing it. I've been teaching my kids in 2nd grade for the last week or so about a 3x3, or just about arrays, which are mathematical kind of rectangular shapes, just like this, where, you know, you can count by the rows, 3x3x3, and you can also count by the columns 3 by 3 by 3, and kind of teaching that as a way of, instead of when you're younger, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But like for us, we have mental strategies where we go 3 and then 3 and then 3, and especially we can just go 3 from the side and then 3 down and realize that that's 3 times 3, which is 9. So we have better strategies. And so it's for my job. Like, that's what I do. I teach kids how to level up in that domain, and then lead them into multiplication as a result of that, along with fractions. They start understanding that, this right here is 1/3 of the shape, and then this right here is 2/3 of the shape, right? We don't get into volume until the end of about 3rd grade or so, and I teach 2nd grade. So it's kind of interesting. If that made sense to you mathematically, that's kind of what I'm doing, in helping kids, but not everyone's at that level at that point in time. There's other kids that, based on just where they happen to be at in their understanding of mathematics, or, even language barriers or something like that, they have a different experience when it comes down to understanding mathematical concepts based on maybe just the way of it's been instructed to them, and how much direct instruction they've been able to have, and the quality of the practice they've had, or so many other factors, so many different factors. So some kids will be already almost ready for multiplication and division at the beginning of the year, while some kids will be struggling just counting past 20 numbers, like just counting up to 20. So it's very interesting kind of just seeing that, and also being able to assist with that, because it's not just like I'm assisting with one, a one fits all approach. A lot of my job is also tailoring education to best serve my students' needs, which is a massive kind of cognitive challenge, but that is a very fun thing to do at the same time, although it is massively time consuming. But you have to really care about what you're doing in order to be a teacher, I do think, and have a lot of drive and willpower. And so I have so much respect for the teachers, and I didn't, I thought that it was going to be a much easier job than it does happen to be. And so I think that, when people, for me, one of my favorite restaurants where I live on Tuesdays has a buy one, get one for teachers and first healthcare responders. And I do think that, but most importantly, so much more should be attributed and, given to make those jobs for people that are working so hard in police, and the people that are first responders and healthcare workers, in order to have them be compensated. Because when you really are in need, and when you have people that are working so hard to provide those needs, I do think that that is something that may not be recognized as much, and I think increasingly, hopefully more so, as technology continues to lengthen, and we see that the people that are really providing the services that are bare necessities and do necessities for our growth and development and safety and health, and all these different things, those people they're grinders. Not just myself. I have a lot of respect for my coworkers and everyone that I teach with, and all the people that I meet that do any of those service professions like EMTs or anything else like that. So kudos to any of you that happen to work in a service profession, and I do relate to your feel and vibe. But man, it was still a good Friday, I would say. Today was pajama day. Today was pajama day at school. And I also got, teachers have like observations in order to, kind of just assist you into becoming a better teacher. and to give you feedback so that you can improve. And I was, it's kind of a stressful experience. So I was observed this morning after our Friday celebration and after us having pajama day. And so I'm excited to hear whatever the feedback happens to be. But it's been, I'm happy that it's Friday. It's been quite a crazy week, but in a blur, but like in a really good way. I do think that I've been pretty good about stepping back and kind of just appreciating the little moments as much as I can. I'm being like, all right, this is, what it looks like to be a teacher, which is something that I always wanted to do. And so it's cool. And it definitely is fulfilling, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's fairly compensated, in my personal opinion. And that is, again, my only personal opinion. But bada boom, just like that, we have even more pillars, just one by one, kind of going up to the line where we'll be able to use Litematica Easy Place mode and kind of just stitch up the top with the arches. But I have found this to be a much easier way to be able to do things. Yeah, Cobb, there's a very wide gap in the kids' knowledge. It's actually very interesting. Because we all personally have our own experience of how we were able to fare out in school. And actually, Cobb, that may be different for you, or maybe soon, because if you're a parent, I would believe that then you actually have a different experience that compounds on your experience of school when your child has an experience learning at school and how they fare out with different sorts of academic disciplines, if that makes sense. But for the most part, at least for me, I'm still younger and I don't have kids. So for me personally, the way I kind of see it is that when you're, seeing a kid for where they're at, you just have to provide the support for them that you want to give. And I think that for me, I'm a better teacher in some regards because of how I did academically, but I'm also a worse teacher for some kids in other regards because I did not have a similar academic experience to them. Like as a math teacher, it helps me because I was not good at math, but I was good at school. So that doesn't always reach everybody, if that makes sense. Because some kids, like for me, I was not good at math, but I was pretty solid at doing other subjects like social studies and that sort of thing. And every kid that I see has a strong suit. It's not like everyone's bad along the board. Like we all have, strong suits and things we're not as good at. And those can change and grow and develop over time, in my personal opinion. But it is very interesting to see that and see the differentiation in how kids are. Some kids can lap kids, like run laps around other kids in certain things, but everyone has a certain potential in kind of just like area of strength and areas of growth, I guess is the best word for it. And being able to most effectively be able to help each student grow to the best of their ability when you're a general public teacher and you have 20 plus students in the room at the same time is such an incredibly crazy thing to do, because at the same time you're doing so much childcare and helping the kids tie their shoes and sort out their conflicts on the playground and doing all the things. And it seems when you say those things, it can instantly make it sound not as difficult as it would be, but it is so much more difficult than I ever thought it was going to be. And I think that is kind of the experience when you actually go into like the teaching fold. It's like, oh wait, no, like this is what actually hard feels like. And I heard that statement from Alex Hermosi. It's like, you know, you were looking for something that was hard, and everyone says that teaching is hard. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. I was like, well, you know, like, I guess you get what you wish for. I asked for something that was hard, but also fulfilling. And that's what I got, something that's incredibly hard, but fulfilling. And I'm going to just reinstate once again that it's so hard. You put so much time into it. Because in a different job, you may want to cut corners. Like, right, like in a different job, you're okay with cutting corners. But like when you're in all those professions that I was talking about earlier, you can't afford to cut corners because you are leaving such a direct impact, if that makes sense, that like it would be unjust of you, in my personal opinion, to not give your best at every moment. But the thing is that in so many of these professions, giving your best in every moment means that you need to give your best in a way that is also kind of selfless on your time that is also free. You know, in order to be the best myself for my kids, you know, I need to make sure that every single night I get 8 hours of sleep, because I do know that if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, then I have to. One sec, I'm just changing the song. If I don't get 8 hours of sleep, then I have to. Or if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, then I'm not going to be my best self for the kids. My patience could run out more quickly, or I could be slower when conveying academic concepts, or I could be less alert, which is not a good thing when you have so many kids that you're doing so much of an impact with every day. In every moment, you know, matters, but you know, it's also, you don't want to datafy. You don't want to, you know, strive for progress every second. They are kids as well. And so I don't know, it is so much respect to all the people that are doing all the things that keep us up and running and are difficult and take so much of you both inside of work and outside of work. And I'm sure that there are many of you that can relate to that practice and have some sort of escape and way to kind of enjoy things outside of what you're doing, although you do derive a good amount of fulfillment or at least satisfaction to a certain degree of form of what you're doing, hopefully. It still is very taxing on you, and that is part of the gig. I know that I am definitely not alone when it comes to that sentiment. Hey, thanks, Spooky. I appreciate you, my man. Yeah. But still, I mean, it's a good Friday. We could say. Pajama day is always fun. It made it much easier, you could say, to get right into the mode of building here this massive monorail. As you can see, it takes a whole lot to get down, but we are starting to make some decent progress, as you can see, and just absolutely going through materials like nothing. It's so easy. Although I do hope that you guys like the texturing that we have going on here too. Bob, your four-year-old is already counting to 50? That is very, very good, my man. A 4-year-old counting to 50 is great. I do think that a 4-year-old's expectations is to be able to trace all of the letters of the alphabet to count 1 from 10. I do believe be able to differentiate a pattern, I believe, and then do a whole ton of other just kind of like pro-social behaviors, along with maybe just like I think just recognizing the sound of letters and being able to hopefully write down those letters. But in terms of like the mathematical domain, maybe starting for certain kids, getting them kind of fluent with using objects to help them between 1 and 10 at the age of 4 is kind of what we're doing in elementary school. I used to be a teacher's aide in as a paraprofessional in a classroom for a preschool for about 2 years, or for preschoolers for about 2 years. And I also was their specials teacher, where I taught them gym and music and art, all 3 specials. I provided all of it, which was a very fun experience. And I had, yeah, it was a good experience. It was fun. And good kids. And here's the funny thing. I think next year, I have the same kids that I was teaching the specials classes to, because I only did that for 1 year. But this year, I'm literally teaching I'm teaching math to the second graders that I once was a teacher's aide for in preschool, and now I'm their full-blown teacher. And it is kind of just like a crazy feeling to... Okay, we can take out our a bit more of our stone over here. I spent like, I think 5 hours off camera on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday morning. From like 4:30 a.m. to I think like, I don't know what time. Like 4:30 a.m. to like maybe 9:30. I think 9:30 maybe. Just grinding on getting a whole ton of stone so that we can make so much progress on this. I'm gonna really get things going. Although, as you can see, I'm not like the fastest builder. Although I'm probably understandably a lot faster off camera. But I'm also noticing that we do not have any more of our stone bricks, so we are going to have to go back. And the funny thing is that this world is so big that no one's really ever going to see these pillars down below, but I cannot stand the feeling of not having a world that is fully actually like immersive as much as possible and is able to tell a story. I keep doing that. I keep doing that with the diamond pickaxe. And so with our stone and our cobblestone, we set up one more pillar. And then I do think... You can't see me. That's funny. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. And then we take out our Cinnabon right here. And we gobble it up so that we can heal back on up too. We're almost as far as we have been on the replay mod, or the Lightmatica cinematic so far. So that's a good feeling, but I do want to head back to the shulker box that we have down over here. And... okay, we really don't have as much. You see, you just burn it. We're burning through all of our resources right here. It's so easy to do it. But that's okay. That is why we mine, so that we can craft here in the game, right? And yes, I do love a pajama day. Our inventory is quite full, you could say, too. Let's put away a couple of the things that we're not really needing currently. Although, let's keep out one weapon. I think that is a better idea. And declutter our inventory just a bit there so that we can kind of take these guys down and move on over to where our next end point of the monorail is for this segment at least. But man, I think that we're actually starting to get some pretty significant progress done here. If you agree and you haven't yet, definitely consider leaving a like on the video. And we will place down our stone cutter right here so that we can take at least 2 stacks of stone bricks, I do believe. And once again, start our adventure with our 3 blocks. Do we have any more andesite? I don't think we do. Let's see, we can place this guy down here now. I'm gonna not waste the andesite. It's kind of more of an expensive block that I happen to have. Oh, we do have more in now our pink shulker box here, so look at that. Oh, we have plenty, okay. Just kidding, we are fine. After a whole ton of work done here, we'll continue back on up just like so. And maybe I can try the... Nah, I kind of don't like it with... You can see the blue. I was going to go into third person so that you guys could see a different angle when it comes down to it. But man, I am going to be so excited to see what the final product of this build and it ends up looking like when we're done with it. It is definitely, as we've been saying earlier, the biggest build that we've ever been doing, but that's kind of what I wanted out of this season. I wanted to push myself in terms of scale with builds. But that's also difficult because I have a very high standard of quality and detail and texture because I pretty much only ever have the time to build small, which is kind of silly. So we'll have to see what we're able to just do in general here, but I am very happy with everything that we have built so far here on Lotus, and it does seem like, you know, based on the reception of Lotus episode 1 on my end, that people are down for it too. And this also does mean, and Spooky, you probably would be the man to know, that since now Pug is offline, this man here, Slip, is the only man on the server here on Friday night. So if there's any shenanigans you think that I should get up to be silly, definitely let me know. But here we are about to extend with our easy place mode blocks for the most part. This area that we have right here, which I think is kind of exciting. And we probably will get even more progress done here tonight too. I do definitely want to get a whole ton more done. And it's Friday night. It's 5:46 my time, so I do feel like we definitely have time on our hands tonight to be able to do something like that. So I am excited for that, but I actually do want to just kind of come around here and smoothen things up very quickly. The reason being for that, we are not exactly all the way up at the tippy top here, so we'll come in and just texture around a bit more here and just sporadically place blocks in like that. Not too much rhyme or reason down to it, and then come back down on here and keep on blocking on down. I do feel like, yeah, there's at least 1 or 2 other pillars where I have been missing out here, but I'd also love to know, what are y'all up to this weekend? On Cobb, are you continuing to work on any projects or anything like that? Or are you guys gonna be playing any Minecraft? Spooky, I know it's been a while since I've seen at least any screenshots from what you've been doing, if you've been building anything. And that's because I was absent for about 6 weeks or so, but I'd love to know what you guys are up to this weekend, or what sort of projects that you guys are working on. I know that the thing that I wanted to do the most was to head on over to hang out with you guys and stream. In order to do that, the last couple of weeks before I came back to hang out with you all, I was doing a whole ton of grilling on Friday night and just, kind of meal prepping and just grilling up meat on Friday night. But it took up so much of my time that I didn't have kind of just like the willpower or the bandwidth to go on a stream that I wanted to be as significant, because my maybe all of the energy was placed down into the grilling and the food that I make. And I think that I'm a pretty good grill master, you could say. But at the same time, I love learning the process of getting better. But when I'm kind of prioritizing getting the Minecraft video out, well, I want to have the most amount of time to get projects done just like this. So that is the plan that we are going to do. Now I'm going to hit stop recording. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break or so. I'm going to leave you guys with a quick cinematic, and then we'll get back into the swing of things here. And if you have not left a like on the stream yet, definitely consider doing so. But I will be right back in a second. I do think that I'm gonna choose a good song as much as I can. Okay, I'll be right back. And hello to Cooked Lamb as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, some grilled meat does sound good too. No, y'all deserve a better song. Not that one. I definitely need to update my playlist right here. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Oh man. And it's my nightfall. Okay. Alright, where are we? I think we're on the ground too. And I know that we're the only people here. Wait. Okay. I cannot believe I am still alive right now. I think that this torch must have saved me. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. Give me a second. To adjust my microphone chair. Alright, so let's get back to it, huh? Let's see. We are just about pillared up all the way here. No, I hear there's a skeleton after me now. Of course, after all of that time. So I do think that, actually, I hear a spider too. I hear, another spider on the left. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. We let plenty of mobs hang around right now. We're gonna head over here because I know that I can head up to the top. Yeah, spooky. That could have definitely ended bad. And I swear, every single time that I go on a break, I'm always thankful for you guys. I'll take, because for like over a year, I was like terrified to go and take a break. And I realized that when I take a break, I can stream for so much longer. Like the more breaks, if I take a break every like 45 to like an hour, I can stream for longer and longer and longer. And that is like something that I want to be able to do. But I used to only be able to stream for like an hour and 5 minutes because I just could not get past barrier until I finally let myself actually take a break. And I was like, what if I just lose everybody? But the reality is that, you know, if people want to hang out with you and really care about you, then they'll hang out with you. And if they don't, then, you know, it's not the end of the world. You can, you know, continue streaming and other people will come and hang out with you. So at least that's been my experience. So what we are going to do is we're going to finally head into our easy place mode, and you're going to see how much of a time difference this happens to be when it comes to building something like this. I did remember we're getting back into the swing of things. Actually, hit start replay mod cinematic recording. It was a little bit of time since I had really been doing much content creation on the Minecraft side of things. I was making some day in the life videos for my real life self on my Instagram channel, and a couple of you guys know what that is, and if you'd like to find out more about it, definitely take a look at the description. You're welcome to join the Discord and see a little bit more about my real life self if you'd like to. But through doing those day in the life videos, I didn't really have any commentary, and I put so much time into the videos that I make and so much actual like storytelling and creativity and intention behind what I'm building that I personally did not, in the end run, get as much satisfaction out of making these videos that were kind of like day in the life videos that kept me on top of my, definitely like my physical shape and like health and nutrition and that sort of thing. But I was going to sleep, you know, just being like kind of a robot. And there was no joy about doing that. And, you know I've grown over time, and this was definitely a confirming experience for me that Minecraft and the ability to enjoy something creative that's very full of depth for you is something that you can honor, that, you know, you can be someone, we're all someone that, or people that have so many different niches and so many different, you know, just little complex facets and layers. And I do think that at the same time, you know, the perfect bit of being who you are is being who you are. So there's nothing else to do except for to embrace that. That makes any sense. So there are times from I heard a ringer bell. If you've subscribed, welcome to the slippers. But I really do think that the more you kind of just embrace yourself, the more you can find yourself through whatever medium it is. And I've definitely been a massive proponent. I think there are definitely plenty of people that know me for being like, Minecraft has been such a thing that has been more than I ever expected for it to ever have been. Through the community, through the ability to immerse something that was within myself that I never really knew existed, and see it come out onto the table. And for example, like, this is not my first time making a monorail, but this is definitely the largest iteration. And I definitely had a monorail that in the past, in a hardcore world, was, I don't know, if I went into the map right here, it was probably this long, maybe, and it was a bit more complex, but it was not traversing the distance that I wanted. And this one, as you can see, I mean, just getting one really segment through for this thing is consuming all of this stone, like an immense amount of stone. It really is crazy. Did you guys hear the ringer bell too? Or am I crazy? I've not set up my stream elements, or whatever it happens to be called. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to take off easy place mode for a second. But as you can see, that made things so much easier for us to get a roll on here. I wonder if we can Tarzan it down with our vines, kind of. And head here. And look at that. You can see we still have plenty of progress to do. But we do need to head on back, because I guess we are out of anything that could help us when it comes to making our slabs. So we can head on over here to the stone cutter and refill on up here. I think that we'll take our stone and we'll place that into stone slabs right there, and then we'll half our andesite and place that into andesite, along with, we'll also take half of our stone bricks and make stone brick slabs too. So we can place all of these guys together, and that is going to be very beneficial. Although that was a mistake place right there. And then I also do believe that we can probably get a bit more blocks from over here. But again, you can see we're running out. We're so quickly running out. We can get other slabs from here. I guess to save space, we can place some of the things that, once again, we don't need. Like these minecarts, these 3 minecarts over here. And then maybe we place our hoe with all these other things over here. Oh man, this thing is, as you can see, if you've been here from the start of stream, absolutely demolishing on materials. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Okay, but now we have to make kind of a long trek, because I don't think I have any wood on over in this direction in order to... Actually, no, we're gonna... Actually, we'll still take the lazy way out right here, and we'll come on up like so with our cobblestone. And we'll have to get rid of that later. But what we are going to do is we are once again going to head into that easy place mode, and that is going to make life a whole ton easier, as you can see. Although, man, I forgot. Of course, I forgot the... I did all of that work. I went all the way over there, and I forgot the cobblestone slabs. So we have to skip over that, as you can see. And sometimes if you spam it, as you were able to see, Lightmatica can mess up, but I'm not switching between materials. it's just doing it automatically for me, and I can actually hold down mouse, especially if I have all 3 blocks, and kind of just continue down like that. That makes sense. And that, especially as like a content creator, as someone wants to still tell a story, and also in this particular circumstance wants to just finish the build and be able to get it to spawn, especially since I have no elytra and no desire to really go to the end to try to get one. Oh man, we are still a long way out, but it's okay. It's also fulfilling to have something that has been daunting, like something major like this, because I don't really think I've ever done anything like this, and the final product is going to be absolutely insane. It is interesting that it's only going to last for the next like 9 months or so, but I'm happy we're doing it. Even if it is just me by myself here on Friday night. Looks like I cannot go to sleep because of easy place mode. So we can select that off and then head to sleep for the night. Oh, spooky. Have I seen anything about CubedCon? Is it already this weekend? Personally, I haven't seen that. I have seen a little bit, like I've seen some sneak peeks. But I just have not had any sort of ability to participate yet. Especially this weekend too. I really don't have much time, which is a bummer, but I'm also working a whole ton of overtime next week, but then after that I have a long weekend where I'm not also working during the weekend. And during the winter, I don't work the farmer's market, so I have the weekends full or free. So I'm able to make a lot more Minecraft content during the winter, but the fall and the spring are really difficult for me. Those are like the hardest times of year for me to make content. Things are just so busy. Like the middle of the end of the school year, and then the beginning to the middle of the school year are so difficult. I guess not even that. I would say 70%. The first 70% of the school year is difficult, but for me, I don't work on the weekends during the winters, so it makes it easier. Working on the weekends and being a teacher is a lot. I will say that. Okay, I think that we are going to try to launch in here after eating a bit more Cinnabons. And turn our replay, or our rendering back on. I guess we're on single block rendering, so we can head back to all right here. And this is when we start to get cooking. I found that when it comes to doing these arches right here, kind of the best starting way to get this done is then to go into our easy place mode here, and hopefully we have the stairs for it, and kind of just go up the arches just like that. And if you'd ever like to have this schematic for the monorail that kind of just repeats on itself again and again and again, I'd be more than happy to give it to you. It's nothing special, but it is nice to have to make something that's kind of cool and majestic, just like so. And so we're actually going to come down just like this, and then we'll come to the side, and you can see that actually we have... I'm starting in an interesting area, and this is actually the beginning song of the Lotus SMP episode 1, I believe I made, or maybe the second song. Okay, and then with our easy place mode still on, we're gonna continue on up just like so, and just kind of stitch together the sides. Oh, and I just realized I don't know if I have iron bars for the sides. But it is, the schematic is only one bit of this arch right here, but you can kind of manipulate it so that it works like a jigsaw puzzle. And so the pieces kind of just, fit together, and it makes it really easy to be able to build these sorts of builds. Although we're already out of our stone bricks, you can see this thing just eats through materials. It really is honestly wild. So we'll go and we'll make more. And then while we're here, no, we have plenty of stairs, so we should be okay there. We can continue on with these arches again, just kind of pillaring on up. Eventually, easy place mode is going to kind of block you out, but you can just hold down the right click button. I do think that it is PC exclusive and just makes things a whole ton easier for you to be able to shift things together and put things to life in your world. I do believe that most people that have hated on it have eventually used it, or not most people, but I do know that at least Looney, who is a pretty significant builder and hardcore Minecraft YouTuber, used to hate on it for a long period of time and has been pretty open about the fact that he now does love Litematica, that it makes his life so much easier as a content creator and just as a creative person. Doesn't have to just deal with only making creative content, but at the same time, just making the sorts of content that you want to make, or just making things in Minecraft without having to record anything whatsoever. Oh, CubedCon is today? Oh, that's cool. No, I do think we do have a schematic. I wish that I could have taken more of a part of it. It's so interesting. I thought that this year, I was like, I'm going to have some things so much more dialed in for work than I did last year. Like, I definitely have so many more systems of efficiency, and I was able to be so much more effective last year, interestingly, with making videos than I have been this past school year. And I think that I've been kind of raising the bar for myself professionally, and also raising the bar in my health a little bit. But I'm also trying to still kind of maintain a high bar of efficacy when it comes to making these YouTube videos. And the unfortunate reality, and I want more time with this, which is the interesting thing, is that I want to be able to make more videos, but I also don't want to make more videos at the expense of being able to find more inspiration and be able to input it in through this creative medium, and have something that I can look back on and be like, wow, I'm extra proud of myself. And at the end of the day, I think that those are the videos, especially nowadays, that are going to make people stand out. There are so many videos being uploaded to YouTube every day, and especially with Minecraft. And so I think that at the end of the day, although I love the kind of satisfaction and dopamine that I can get from posting as consistently as possible, I also am doing that. But I do think that having something that really is to the best of your ability will do you better than posting just to post. And people say that, but it's interesting what kind of bar of quality that means for you personally. Because I do think that that statement kind of means different things to everyone, which is kind of interesting. But as you can see, it's kind of easy if you just pillar up just like so, and you can get all of the arches. And it's this, imagine trying to fill in all of this. This is such a small fraction of the monorail by itself. you know? Imagine doing all of this by hand. I don't know if I would be even close to spawn by the end of the season based on the time that I happen to have on my hands. So it is so worth doing this. And as you can see, does not really take away that much of the, you know, the amount of grunt work because of the scale of how big this thing really is. It still takes a whole ton of time. And we've really only gone from like here to there out of all of that during stream today. If that made sense to you, that's how much work this takes. And it is absolutely wild. But it's also fun. Again, when just having something to do, and Spooky, as you know, I put in the Discord today. I was like, all right, like, what am I doing today on Friday day? I'm playing Minecraft. I am side questing this mega build here. I do think that it is going quite well too. Once you kind of get into the kind of, I don't know, like the rift of things, you can really start to just get, you know, absorbed into the flow and efficiency. And I do think that one thing that is also a good tip when you're building like this is some people might see like, oh, you still need to put the iron bars in. Yeah, but when I'm building this big, I think that a tip that I've learned for myself is that if you find that you don't have the material right on hand, don't waste all that time where you could be efficient. Continue to build as much as you can, and then you can come back to it. And that way you can maximize the builds or the blocks that you happen to have in your inventory when you're building in survival mode. Of course, it's different when you're building in creative, but I do think that that has been incredibly helpful for me personally. And that's kind of what you can see us doing right now. You can also kind of see that Lightmatica gets easier to use when it is dark out, but that also means that the creepy crawlies and all of the bad things are going to come out too, so we are going to head to sleep for the night. And so here we are once again. Okay, we're making good progress. Yeah, anyway, what are you guys up to, and what are y'all having for dinner? For me, I am going to be having some Chipotle. Which sounds pretty good to me, and it's the reason that I might have more time to stream tonight too, so I'm happy with that fact as well. And it is actually crazy, you know, I may be kind of framing it like we are kind of low on stone materials, but at the same time, we really are not that low. I did a whole ton of chunking out down below our starter base island with the fisherman's shack. We have a massive cave down there, and all of that has kind of been off camera. It'll be replay mod cinematics at the end of the day. Just like I want to make sure, once again, we are recording as we put up these arches here. But we got a whole ton of stone and a whole ton of other things as well. And also, if you guys have any build inspiration for me for the next like actual build for this episode, I am so blinded. I'm gonna be honest. I'm so blinded. Do I have more cobblestone? Yes. I'm so blinded by the fact that I have so much more work that I have to do for this monorail, and actually in order to get to the initial outcome that I had envisioned. I can't really think of the secondary build that I want to be the highlight of episode 2. I think that it's kind of too insane to wait so long to just finish this major project that could take most of the season, or at least a good third, or maybe even half the season, and wait to post another video until I get there. I can't think of anything else about, or except for kind of just continuing this and getting there and getting to the spawn point, which apparently might move. But apparently, Shadow is also in the game as well. And everyone does the wave. Good to see him. I always say A. There's no better way to do it, I think. I feel like tonight is definitely a cozy night here on the Lotus SMP, and I think that eventually when this build actually comes to people as well, they're like, wow, Slip, you you put a whole ton of time and energy into this build. There will be a lot of respect. Oh my gosh, I'm framing out right now. I don't know why. Okay. That has not happened to me in a very, very, very long time. Is that because I'm getting close to the jungle? That was crazy. I have not had a lag spike like that in a very, very long time. That was wild stuff right there. Oh, we also have some spicy music when it comes down to it too. We're almost there. Wow, we're almost done with this kind of section besides the iron bars. And we're going to take a look at it. We do definitely need to kind of polish up the walls a bit because I don't think I have cobblestone, and definitely the cobblestone slabs too. But you can see that when it comes to this large segment, that is multiple kind of little iterations of what we've been talking about, things are looking very good here. And so I'm happy. Everybody else is so set up with their gear and with so many other things. And for me, I have barely enchanted Depth Strider 1 diamond boots and protection 2 diamond leggings. And Cobb, if you're still listening, I'm sure that is not that much of a surprise here. Because that is what this guy does. I do think that why not, for right now, we'll take away our rendering and then we'll take away our easy place mode. But we will pillar back on up here. And as you can see, things are looking quite good. Let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's really just cutting. So it's really just kind of cutting into the jungle right here. We can continue back. So far, we get through the trees, keep going. And then this is when we were passing the river and then into the mushroom biome. This is Pug's place over here. We are so far. And hopefully we can maybe even get one more section in along this way too, which I do think is the game plan, along with finding the one jungle log that happens to be over there. But yeah, Spooky, I don't really know that much about CubedCon, being honest. Definitely enlighten me if you would be so willing, you could say. And I do enjoy the relaxing guitar music that we have here, and a happy Friday once again, and thank you so much for spending some time with me, y'all. It's a good feeling, honestly, to be back in... It's a good feeling to be back into the swing of things. I really do truly mean that. I love having something that you can come back to and look upon. You can see it's not totally finished. It actually kind of looks like the ruins. That looks like ruins. That looks kind of fun, actually. Should I kind of leave it like that without the iron bars for right now here in the jungle and make it look like ruins? I don't know. That could look kind of fun. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm just taking a quick sip of water as well. We have been streaming for 75 minutes now. Alright, so we are back at it. Okay. So pretty good looking, but yeah, let me know. Should I keep this as a ruin or something like that? I would love to know what you think. And this song is definitely a vibe. Yeah, look at that. It's so cool, I think. Unfortunately, I do feel like my frame rate does happen to be down when we are in the jungle. Things are just so lush, especially with the new update where all of these leaves are just falling down all around us. But when we keep things pretty still like so, you can see how beautiful it does happen to be. With our Cinnabon in hand. I like it. Okay, I think what I want to do first is I'm going to go into our stone cutter and we are going to get around to making not only some sandstone slabs, but at the same time, not sandstone, some cobblestone slabs and some cobblestone walls as well, so that we can kind of just finish off the little bits that are missing, as you can see right there. And I'll feel like a happy man after doing that. And so there we are once again. Oh, I just sneezed. Whew. Oh. Okay, that got me. And kind of just fix up the area just a little bit like that. Although, how's it already nighttime? I feel like the time is flying by. Looks like Shadow is AFK at the moment too. Also, I feel like people would think that I'm AI if I didn't play on an SMP. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people thought I was AI if I didn't play with other real life people that are clearly not AI. Or unless you've like spent enough time with me. I'd love to know what you guys think about that. I think that's like a funny concept. Okay, and so we continue. I kind of have to look like on both sides. As you can see over on this end, we are gonna have to pillar up a whole ton. Whole ton. And then get these walls just like this. Are you kidding? Now I'm out of cobblestone, meaning we're gonna have to go all the way up just like that one more time. Actually, no, the secret, although if you have easy place mode on, it's kind of annoying, is you go like this and you take the block that you have and you go bam, and no one will ever know. That is how you stop being a perfectionist, but you then have to go back into easy place mode and turn it back on, which is a lot of steps, but it kind of saves you something in the end run. And then the other tip that I have for the monorail is when you're placing it in as well, you definitely need to kind of go down like that and fill each pillar in, if it's on a cliff or on a slant, into the ground like that. And that's not that hard to do. You kind of just have to be vigilant, I think is the word for it. You can see that up here, if we start to pillar up with our andesite once again, we have another one of our stone walls that needs to be placed in there, so we can do that and then pillar on down and continue on. On the hunt, we have another one right here. You can see we'll do a little jump and a skip and get that one too. It looks like we're good over here, but definitely, although we might have to pillar up once again. I do believe that there's some work to be done here. Yes, I am completely right. And then we come back into the you've run out of blocks situation. You turn off the easy place mode and you come in with your andesite, and no one, once again, will ever know. And your life just becomes so much more less stressful as a builder. You can build so much more efficiently and really take the pressure off of yourself. Although we are once again going to head back in and place that easy place mode, that awesome tool that we have in front of us, just like so. I have built a beautiful, really massive kind of like mega build in creative mode that I am not ready to make. I don't have nearly the materials that I would like to in order to do it. It's going to take a whole ton of quartz, and I mean a whole ton of quartz. And I would not like to go into the nether. I think I may have to do it. I do think that it may be the case. Because I definitely need a way to get XP as well. And I've been playing the long game. Once again, it's taking me so long to just go and get materials that I happen to need in order to make this monorail, that I'm not set up for making much more detailed builds than the medieval type that we happen to have here. Okay. So it kind of looks like now, just about, you're almost ready to be done with this segment and put a couple more Lightmatica schematics into the world. Which is totally, absolutely a good feeling here. And let's see, do we have any stone in this pink? No. This is all that we have. We need a whole ton more of diorite and calcite too in order to make the mega build, so I need something else. I need a smaller kind of, more interesting, kind of abstract build. I would say that's smaller. Like, I need a small detailed build as we continue to collect materials for the mega church that we'll eventually build. But I have no idea really what I want to build. And that has not been that fun of an experience. Man, we are rifling through materials right now. I do think that we are going to come up, and now without any replay or easy place mode, we are going to come and kind of stitch things back up like that. Actually, we do happen to have easy place mode on. Let's see what happens then. And as you can see, we also need to place plenty of lanterns in the area to light things up, and that will be something that we can probably get done in just a little bit of time. But it is all about polishing things up here. Here we have another wall that could be placed in right there. I want this to be something that I can be proud of, and another one right here. But you can see this is a massive structure. It takes so long to be able to get established here, and you can get lost. I mean, absolutely lost. Not even know the direction, especially in the jungle here. But I'm happy we were putting our head down tonight. If you agree with that, definitely consider leaving a like on the stream. Because I do not think that we're anywhere near done yet. I mean, we have a whole ton of things that we need to get done. I think that it's almost time for round 2. We're about halfway done, I would say, for stream, which is wild. Although I do have a couple buddies that want to play the new Call of Duty game. Oh, I forgot to start downloading it. Man, okay, maybe when we're actually finally finished with the last little bits of putting in the segment, I'll start downloading it to see if I can actually play with them. But we are definitely, again, our head is down when it comes to building this massive monorail here, and as it starts to rain too, which the rain can be kind of dangerous here in the jungle too. So I do think that we're going to take out our torches, and I think that it's also worth taking out a minecart here too, along with some more andesite to pillar on up. And I really do just wish that we had some more cobblestone, but it's funny, that cobblestone, the stone that, or the block that everyone always feels like they have too much of, I literally never ever have enough of. So we're gonna have to head back on here. But as you can see, we've come quite a far way when it comes down to it too. We might as well get our minecart out in our hand. And I'm going to change the song very quick. Oh man, my microphone. My microphone almost crashed out on me, you could say. Okay, we are back. We are back. That could have been bad. Look at that. Okay, so we're heading back to the river area. We're gonna hop back on in just like so. And then we also have to head around here and eat our Cinnabon as we look at all of the fish in the lake and all of the area that is around Pug's place over here with the squid and whatnot. So not too shabby, not too shabby. Actually, I want to see it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that on the main grid, just like so. I really do like how that is looking at the moment. Okay, but what we do need plenty of lanterns. We do have our iron bars, actually. Although, I have a strong feeling that is going to be nowhere near enough what we need. We're going to take some more cobblestone right now, too. And then we have actually slabs right there as well. Oh, but I have a strong feeling, yeah, that's not going to be nearly enough iron for the iron bars that we do need. There's only one way to find out, as you all know. But it is definitely a good feeling to be closing out this next segment. Of course, we are going to have to find a means of getting enough gold in order to have enough to power us through the way. Cobb, you were such a lifesaver last season. I've been trying to get all the gold on my own. I mean, I don't know if anyone has made a gold farm. I would be surprised if Inca hasn't. But still, this man is a very poor man in the game at the moment. But that is alright. Spirits are up at the moment. We do have at least some iron bars that we can start to place into the game here. See, we're going to start right here at this segment. And then kind of come up. Okay, we already got our easy place mode on just like that. And actually, I want to try something new. We're kind of like we're not that. No, come on. Oh, I'm totally it's fun. Oh, it's fun. Oh, man. Oh, it's such a bummer. Oh. Okay. Time to make a new replay mod cinematic. Oh, let me take a deep breath. Oh, come on. Oh, that's such a rip, dude. Okay. Alright, do I have anything from my supply shed at the moment? That is so frustrating. No. My goodwill has not run out on me. Actually, someone has restocked, I do believe. That is very clutch. The free supply shop has come in handy after all. And so, hopefully, with the daylight that we do happen to have, we're going to head on back here. Oh, and try to get our gear. Hopefully, I mean, we barely have anything, but we do have things, and it takes me a long time to get things. I do hear a zombie to my left right now, but we're just going to skedaddle on along. I'm so happy I ended up making that supply shop at spawn. And hopefully that is where the monorail is just going to. So that is just going to make things so much easier when it comes to getting back to my area of the world. Kind of thinking long term when it comes down to it. But as you can see, this jungle is very, very dense. And so I'm going to have to take a very long time cut through all of it. Oh my gosh. And the jungle is very much more shady and full of trepidation, you could say, too. However, we are making our way through on an adventure, you could say. And pulling a little bit too far to the right, we're like Lewis and Clark. We're like adventurers. Going through the jungle forest. Looking for where I have done a massive amount of deforestation. Which happens to be right over here. And so back to finding our gear. Where did we die? Where did we die? Got absolutely decimated. Where did we die? I don't know. Okay, over here. I see the experience orbs. Okay, let's make a new replay mod cinematic. Oh my gosh, look how big the hole is. Look how big the hole is. Oh, man. Okay, let's eat a little bit of steak. Good news is that I never had any levels to begin with, so we're fine there. Oh, okay. I still have my diamond. I still have my diamond stuff, I think. Man, okay. That was a whole lot. What if I go like that? Can I get some dirt? No. I want to go like that. I don't want your seeds. Yeah, I want the dirt. I have a shulker box right here. No, I want the shulker. No, I want the shulker box is definitely the most important. I'm now at what? I'm at 13 deaths. That's an unlucky number, man. That's an unlucky number. That's not cool. I'm not a fan of that. We're gonna have to see what happens now. We are on trepidatious waters, you could say. Trepidatious waters. course, definitely not enough of our dirt to fully fill the thing in, so I'm going to come in with some smooth stone because that is going to be at least the most aesthetic thing for me in particular. And then we'll take out our Domino's thin crust sausage medium pizza for 2 and pick down that guy right there. So that hopefully we can once again continue on with these iron bars that will just place down 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Man, I gotta shake off the death. I can't believe that happens. Usually there are other people that are hanging out. Although it is still kind of early in the evening, depending, or I don't know what time it is for other people. But it definitely could be a time later on where other people that are a bit more night owl-ish like to come and hang out. So I would not be that surprised about that when it comes down to it. We can pop down. And man, I can't wait to be able to see the final version of what we have going on here. We are very close to that too, I do believe, within the next 5 minutes. And you can see that the Lightmatica schematic that I ended up making is pretty down to the block, so you can kind of pillar up side by side like this and be able to make the impact that you want to. Or sometimes when you're working with Lightmatica, if you're too close to the schematic, it won't let you build around it to pillar up in survival mode, just like this, which can be very frustrating in my personal experience. So this definitely is a good template to be able to use. And so again and again and again, but not too many times, it does actually go by pretty quickly. You do get into the swing of things while doing that. We can place down those iron bars and then go on to its parallel side and do the same thing. I do apologize about the fact that there's so many horses and whatnot that are just hanging out in skeletons in the schematic, but there's not too much. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I was in Spain when I made the schematic, and I kind of pledged it to everybody, and I was like, I want to make this monorail. And then Mafert was like, well, yeah, but you should also make it 2-way so that we have a way back to a place to point A, and a way to get to point B and go back and forth. But as you can see, this is a one-way monorail. I was like, yeah, I hear you. And then I didn't. A lot happened in my life at that point in time, but I did not iterate and innovate upon the design. And so as you can see, it is still a one-way design, back and forth. So it has some architectural limitations, I do believe you could say. But at the same time, I do believe that it looks really cool and I'm very proud of it. And I just wanted to, when I eventually was able to get back into building into Lotus, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make, if there's any, just like many people say, if there's anyone you can count on getting something done, it's yourself. And so that's how I happen to feel personally. And so that's what we've been doing, as you can see, and getting things done little bit by little bit. I'm very happy with how much we're able to get done. And I would never, ever be able to get this much done without Lightmatica, without sacrificing my entire life. Which again, a lot of my, in order to make the videos, if you see the high quality Minecraft videos or any gaming videos, if it's a small creator and they're making everything by themselves, you have no idea how much time it actually is taking them. It is taking them so much time. We are about to run out of our iron bars too. You can see how material intensive this build happens to be as well. But really, I do mean it. it takes them so much time in order to get things done. I consider myself a very efficient person for the most part. But man, does it take a long time. If I seem like someone that can actually get things done on stream, well, I'm 10 times more efficient when I'm off stream, and I'm kind of in the flow state. I'm in the connection state with you guys as much as possible. Alright, and so we have a vibe right here. Good old song. But unfortunately, we have no more iron bars, which is kind of a bummer, I'm being honest. So I think that what we're going to do... I really wanted to have more than enough, but again, this build, although it's kind of simplified, is still a pretty expensive design when you scale it in the way that we happen to be scaling it. But I do want to come in here now with our cobblestone slabs very quickly, and I'll place these guys. I don't want that guy, actually. That is the cross-section block. But this build, that goes for a very long way. Oh, it feels so good to almost have a section done here on the monorail. We've gotten so much progress done actually here tonight. I mean, more than almost in 2 months, which is such a good feeling. I had to take a step away. And I do have a feeling we'll get this done little bit by little bit. Just like that. Look at that. Bada boom. It is time to take off the rendering and take off the easy place mode, and just like that, we have something not too shabby here. And definitely more terrain to go as well. Alright, so yeah, things are looking quite good actually at the moment. I do think that we will place down a block just like that. But look at that, our monorail is coming together. And it has made a successful turn around down this way too. So I do think that we are going to try to put a couple more iterations in here as well. That does sound like the game plan. Holy moly, I mean, this thing has taken... The amount of hours this thing takes, it's quite crazy. Okay, so I do think maybe since we still happen... I can't think. Actually, maybe we take a red shulker box. I do think that we're gonna head along down here. I'm just trying to think kind of in efficiency terms as much as possible. We head back down to where we have a massive storage area, which is now already so far away. So crazy. We have been putting on work. We've been doing so much on this build. It's gonna be crazy how many blocks it is by the end of it. And grab so much more things that we can now stuff into a red shulker box, just so that we have a whole ton that we can work with right now. So that we can keep on, again, grinding along. And actually, why don't we come around? We're not going to do our powered rails right now. I always come back and do that later. But look at that. Oh, we have so many blocks. This is a good feeling here. Alright, so we'll do that and place these guys in here too. And then pick our shulker box back up. And then come back down around here where we can start to place down those rails. And I am very happy that our replay mod cinematic is still recording. Because holy moly, it is a good feeling to wait as we pass this jungle temple that we have over here and go right on past it. I totally forgot about that. You can see that things go quite far. I mean, incredibly far now for us. And this is where the minecart starts to end right here. And so now we can, let me readjust. We can head into F5 and start to, hopefully with balance and precision, place down some rails. And so, one at a time, we go. And the good news is that although sometimes I am kind of like dismayed by the fact that this build will take such a long time in order for me to make, I also am kind of reassured by the fact that I am able to use this automatically in order to get closer and closer to the actual spawn area. Because although I may not be all of the way there yet, every single time I can actually come back and use this, and then it takes me less time over time. And that by itself actually happens to be a very rewarding feeling. And as you can see, just like this, we now have all of our, almost all of our rails into the monorail, just like so. Look how big it's becoming. This thing is wildly big. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this thing is big. Okay. Alright, and so now we have all of these materials. It's just about time for us to place a couple more replay mod cinematics into the world. So I do think that we are going to head into load schematics. Oh man, it's been a long time since I've done this. I have to head back into our visuals and enable things. And I also need sticks. Okay, so I can't do anything right now. I do need sticks in order to do this. Now, the good news is, I wish I had a water bucket. I was gonna water bucket down there, but you're gonna jump on. I almost missed that too. We're gonna jump on the pillar right here and go on down and then try to kind of sift through these bushes just like this, because eventually we are going to come across a jungle log. Which we can now break down into jungle planks and then do the same with the planks and put them into sticks. Man, I just can't stop thinking about the fact that this thing is getting so big. It's a good feeling. I'm very happy with the progress that we have been able to get done so far. look at that. So we're going to head back on up here. We're going to enable our rendering once again. We're actually going to hit M plus P. I'm going to come all the way down. We have done so many things, and we're going to rotate it one time so that it is a bit easier for us to work with, and then come on over one to the side, just like that. Come down a couple so that it lines up on a horizontal plane. We're not exactly there yet. Kind of too deep now. Bam. Okay. And so I do think that we will be able to get hopefully another 2 sections done tonight. I do think that we have to go one down once again, though. Yes, there we are. In order to keep it on that horizontal plane that we were talking about, we're going to hit M and P once again, and then configure and lock that. And we're going to get out. It is once again nighttime, and I thought for whatever reason I'm on the monorail, but I'm not. So we definitely have to head to sleep for the night too. Okay. And keep ourselves vigilant for other mobs that can come and spook us here in the jungle. It's definitely possible for something like that to happen. We'll have to find out. I do think we might be okay, though. I do think we may be okay. Oh, famous last words. Famous last words slip. This song right here completely reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2. There's only one way to find out what's going to happen here. You only have one shot, one chance, one opportunity in order to find out what the inevitable outcome is, something that they call destiny. Now ours is to head back and make another monorail layer, with which we can then head back into our free cam mod and once again manipulate in a way that will be beneficial for us to be able to continue the structural project as we see it. Although we may have to do a bit more of wood felling and chopping trees. There is only one way to find out here. There we are, and now I hit M and P and I'll hit configure and hit that rotation one more time, as I was telling y'all, and bring it back over here by using Control and Alt, and bring it back over this way once again using Control and Alt, and then actually most importantly the scroll wheel that will, when I'm facing in this particular direction, continue, as you can see, the direction of where it's going to go on either a vertical plane or on the horizontal plane. So it's very helpful, but at the same time it gets kind of difficult. I want to go 3 blocks in here. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Now they're connected. Now I want to go 3 blocks in from this point. 1, 2, 3. In order to make it symmetrical right there. And then even the schematics themselves are perfectly linked up, which will continue the chain. And so that looks pretty good by itself too. So I'll actually hit Control and then I'm gonna hit locked right there too. And then interestingly, maybe, I think it's possible that we actually get this done. We'll go one more time into here and we'll load that schematic too. And it's so far away. It is so far away. We have to bring it all the way over here. Because again, we are doing some pretty significant work here. And then hit M plus P, bringing us down all the way down here, where I can hit configure and then rotation, where it might bring it away, but I'm going to use, once again, actually Alt and the scroll wheel to move it on down and line it up with the rest of its counterparts, you can see. It does take a little bit of kind of consideration when it comes down to it. But these kind of jigsaw puzzle pieces are definitely very helpful. There we go. We have 3 segments of our new next part of the adventure for the monorail set in place just like that. All right, I say let's get into it, huh? I do know that I need to lock that schematic too, just to make sure that when I'm not using any of our sticks, which is the operating stick, in order to move these builds around, that we are doing anything. But oh man, as you can see, we are now due for a whole ton more work with a whole ton more blocks that are about to be placed. Let's see what we have that we can dispense with. We have to place down our shulker box as well, and definitely get some cobblestone and a whole ton of stone too. Although it does definitely look like at some point we're going to have to go back and get some actual stone as well. And we will continue on in just about a minute or two. Go and get that infrastructure done. Look how much work we have already gone out and done. You're going to see this walk that we have back, or this run that we have back to the place where we can actually kind of pillar up. Actually, no, we're going to shortcut that. It's massively long. We have done already a whole ton, as you can see on the schematic tonight. So that makes me very happy. But I do think that quickly, for the time being, I'm going to disable the rendering. We are reaching 2 hours on stream, and I want to keep building with you all, but I know that in order to have that longevity that I'm really looking for, I need to take a quick break and be the best version of myself as I can. So we're going to leave y'all with a cinematic, hopefully with an ocelot. I will take a quick bathroom break, maybe be back in like 5 minutes or so. And we will continue on with the monorail. I can't find a good angle of it. And I have to leave y'all with a good angle. There's no other way to do it. But he's kind of he's in a weird position. Alright, that's all I got. I'll be back in a minute, or a couple minutes. And so we are back. It is time for round 2. I have just had some dinner. We are energized and ready to go for the next segment of side questing this mega build. This massive monorail that we have here. So I do appreciate you guys all hanging out and spending time with me tonight. I do think that honestly, before I do anything, I want to go and extend our jungle terrain a bit farther down along in this area around here so that we can continue along with our monorail over time. So I do think that we might as well eat up very quickly before we make a little bit more use of our depth strider boots and hop down there where we can head around, maybe even actually, just for the sake of time right here, come into the middle of the build and lure on up with our andesite and then place down a lantern and then come back on down here so that we can continue along with our playthrough. Let's see here. Once again, we have all of our diorite. We might as well sort with my very helpful inventory sorting mod, but then come down with our iron axe, and then we have an empty red shulker box. Well, I do believe that this is going to be the materials that we'll be using for the moment, but before we get around to doing anything, we clearly are going to go and chop down a bit of the forest that we have here so we can take away pretty much all of these things and put them into the shulker box and sort everything. And you can see how efficient that is if you've never played Minecraft with these sorts of mods before. That I know that that is not necessarily vanilla, but that is the most worthwhile thing ever to have. Be able to sort it and then be able to look at it just like that, because now I can come in and grab that bit of andesite right there, and we're going to hop on back up. We're going to hit stop recording and make a new one right here as the sun begins to set so that we can continue on with our progress as we come up here and it becomes golden hour. We're going to come up here with our axe and then kind of chop away. I do think that we have to come up a bit more too. So we're going to get that one. Then everything just happens to fall apart as the sun begins to set in the distance. Everything is so beautiful looking right here. I do believe that you would probably agree. Look at that. The Lotus SMP. And if you're liking the stream, consider leaving a like on the stream. Which seems pretty understandable. Look how much progress we have gotten done so far, and we're going to continue to cut down into the jungle biome down there. But first we do definitely have to chop down here and pillar down and head to sleep for the night after first getting that shulker box so that I don't forget anything for sure. And so we can punch that bed, and now here we are. So just like so, one of the interesting things about playing in the jungle biome is that you're going to actually, let's punch down a couple of these cocoa seeds right here. And I actually am going to place or go down or put down our render distance so that we have a bit more of clarity, you know, a bit. I think that the jungle is not that conducive to streams on my computer, but the good news is that I am going to be, I believe, upgrading my computer during Black Friday, and if any of you guys have any ideas or Cyber Monday about what I should get for my next PC, definitely let me know. I definitely want something that would be the best sort of actual PC for playing Minecraft in particular. I have never had a gaming PC. I have been playing all of this and am continuing to play this on a Minecraft, or just not on a Minecraft, on a gaming PC, or not on a gaming laptop, sorry, on a gaming laptop. This is the ROG Zephyrus G15 with a 3070 GPU. And so it does definitely handle pretty well, but it's very outdated, I do now believe, but I don't know much about it. I really don't know anything about it, actually, I'm being honest. I do know that the jungle is very, very dense right here, so we're going to have to continue on. And I still need so many more levels in order to name my materials and name my tools and kind of customize my experience here on Lotus, but I'm definitely happy about the progress that we are continuing to get done tonight. I'm also curious, what other video games do you guys happen to be playing besides Minecraft? For me, my friends would like to hop into the beta for Black Ops 7, I believe, which sounds very exciting. I don't think that I'm going to be able to get down to it tonight. I still have forgotten to start to download it, unfortunately. But I would like to try that out and kind of also relive some nostalgia. But I also take a lot of value into providing you guys the best episodes that I can as frequently as I can. So sometimes I can get out of touch and really just focus on getting you guys videos as opposed to doing anything else and treating video games like work, although they're also such a sort of enjoyment for me too. But man, this is some intense music. Let's chill out for a bit. Ooh. Increasing my heart rate and such. That is something that I would definitely use in like a fight cinematic, or like going down into the mines and caving and running upon a creeper or something like that. That is definitely what we would see there. And if you would ever like to make cinematics just like the ones that we happen to be making on our screen right here and edit them up in a very similar way that I do in my videos in just 1 hour, definitely take a look at the first link down in description. There is a 1 hour kind of masterclass that will give you the very easy skills that you'll need in order to really master any cinematic platform, whether it be the replay mod and also flashback as well, because it's really a lot of more depthful tactics when it comes down to it, but also a couple of tips and tricks when it comes to having the most automated and efficient workflow possible on replay mod, in my personal opinion. So definitely consider taking a look at the link down in description. And if you ever do not like the Minecraft creator kit and everything that I put into it, which is already 50 hours and will continue to grow over time, then I promise you that I will refund you every single penny. But I promise you that after a little bit of a breather and coming back to the game, that I am not going anywhere. I have so much zest and hunger to give you all more content. The reality is that I'm just struggling when it comes down to time, but that is why we were going deep when it comes to this live stream tonight and really starting to get progress done when it comes down to this side quest, this monorail right here, as we continue to think about other ideas that we could make for a theme, hopefully, or just something this season. I think it would be fun to have sporadic builds around the world. The monorail is too much of a major project for me to not have my own base with too, and I do want to have my own base. Now we have the fisherman's hut right down here, and this guy is very important to the lore that we have so far for the season. But I do also want to have, I feel like, something around this island right here. This guy right here, which is kind of my territory. I can do anything really in this area right here, which is massive. I mean, this area is really so massive right here. Everything. I can do anything. The island is gigantic. The thing is, on the map, it looks like a dragon. And so we were all like, oh, we got to go with the Dragon Island. But the reality is, the Dragon Island puts all of us so far away from one another, because the biome, although it's a dragon head, does not look, or the map, although it's a dragon head, it's so big that it makes everyone so far away from one another, which when you're playing on an SMP can slow down the pace of things. And when you're playing or you're making content or anything like that, pacing and momentum in particular are so important when it comes down to it. So it can be very much more difficult to, I don't know, consistently give you content when there's such a spaciousness, such a distance between players. But that is why I'm kind of working dead fast to minimize that gap so that I can continue to efficiently and also traditionally have fun while building something incredible just like this. That's so big but also beautiful with the arches and whatnot over time, as you can kind of see as we look down here. And it's cutting through everything, and I know that you guys are viewers and hopefully you get the satisfaction that I happen to get out of it. But for me in particular, seeing this come together over now, so many weeks and days and hours worth of time, it's really kind of cool seeing what's happening to it. And I'm very happy that I'm being consistent as much as I can, and we're getting back into the swing of things. Now, if I was to do another set here, I think we'll probably kind of clear out the area. I think that's probably the best idea for time, but I do think that if I put another segment, that might be a little bit too much. But I do think that we want to clear out the area a little bit more and leave it and have all of this area right here just ready for expansion. And hit M right there, and you can see that all of that work that we've just put on stream right there is just that little bit that we have. And I will say, it's really not looking too shabby. Yeah, look at that as the sun sets in the background over here. But honestly, on Friday night, I do think after 2 hours, I do think that it is time for me to continue the journey off camera and to do the next segment and see what I can get done tonight. I do appreciate you spending the time with me tonight and kind of getting a whole ton more done. I really do not have a whole ton of time, and this is my Friday night, and I would rather spend time with you guys and do this than anything else. I really do mean that, and continue this beautiful build that we have, and even more to come as the moon rises. Now, I do not want us to die whatsoever, so we definitely need to get back into the swing of things really quickly and head to sleep for the night. But I do think that officially it is time to stop recording the replay mod cinematic for the stream. I do appreciate you spending time with me, especially Spooky. You are very important. I mean, to the inspiration, man. I thank you. Thank you for being such a supporter. It really does mean a good amount to me. And you guys are what inspires me to come back and continue to build. Now, I do think that after a good amount of social juice expended and a good day, a good Friday, some good time and some good memories spent together, I'm going to continue it off camera, as we're saying, but I really do appreciate the support, and I hope that you're excited for the continuation of things. I'm still thinking about making a spooky season build, a Halloween build, although I don't know if I have that much time for it. We're gonna have to find out what happens, and so you'll have to stick around for that, I hope. But it is spooky season, and we definitely are up to things here on the Lotus SMP. So I hope that you are excited for that. I appreciate you so much. I hope that the next thing that you watch is precious and even better than whatever whatever it is that comes out of me. Someone even more fantastic and incredible. I am humbled once again by you spending time with me here tonight, and I will check in with you all tomorrow, potentially even for another stream. If not, definitely in the Discord, and we will be heading away towards Lotus SMP Episode 2. I do assure you that without any doubt in my mind. So, a good night. Happy Friday, and I will see you all very, very soon.